Hello everyone and welcome back to another chess this week. The Champion Chess Tour, the Julius Baer Generations Cup was a thrilling event. Magnus Carlsen was just in imperious form. He was just taking down all these youngsters, barring a 2-move resignation against Hans Niemann. There were two components to the Julius Baer Generations Cup. One was Magnus sweeping the tournament. He entered the knockouts with a 9-point lead and just won the final significantly against Arjun Erigaisi. It was just an overwhelming performance by Magnus Carlsen. Arjun played quite well and to his credit reached till the final. But the final was quite one-sided and perhaps one of the shortest finals in the history of Champion Chess Tour. Magnus won it in just 5 games in straight sets, and for people watching it might have reminded them of the 2003 World Cup cricket final between Australia and India. Prague also had a pretty decent tournament, making it all the way to the quarterfinals, which is creditable, but ended up losing against fellow prodigy German junior Vincent Kiemer, who in turn lost against Magnus in the semi-final. And on the cheating controversy, several players came in support of the world champion Magnus Carlsen. The candidates winner Jan Nepomniachtchi confirmed that Magnus was uncomfortable playing the Singfield chess tournament even before the start of it, when Hans Niemann was named as a last-minute replacement for the Hungarian grandmaster who now plays for Romania, Richard Rapport, who couldn't make it to the Singfield Cup due to visa issues. So that's the update there, and the world champion Magnus Carlsen came out with a few statements, and he is seen to have mastered the art of communicating without revealing much information. We await more information there, as Magnus Carlsen has promised to come out with a statement this week. Meanwhile, the World Chess Federation, FIDE, also came out with a statement where it mentioned that the world champion Magnus Carlsen perhaps didn't deal with it in the best way possible, but promising to come down harder on cheating, which has gained a lot of attention in recent times, perhaps rightfully so. And moving on to the over-the-board events, the Shusha chess tournament took place in Azerbaijan, featuring some very strong players including Azerbaijan's best, Shakhriyar Mamadiyarov, Teimour Radjabov, our own Vidit Gujarati, Parham Maksudlu, and several others. And Vidit ended up finishing a creditable 3rd place in the tournament, which was won by Shakhriyar Mamadiyarov. Parham Maksudlu took the 2nd place and Teimour Radjabov finished 4th, making Vidit's 3rd a very creditable performance in a very strong field and a good comeback by Vidit. And in classical chess, the Women's Grand Prix, Vaishali has put up a solid performance at the end of 7 rounds. She has 3.5 out of 7, and the lead is shared by Goryachkina, Katrina Lagno, and Zhu Zhainer with 5 out of 7. And in the Spanish Team Championship, which featured some of India's best chess players, Gukesh and Harikrishna, who played for the team Solvay Chess Club, ended up winning the tournament. Solvay won the team event despite losing to Nihal's team, and their personal encounter ended in a draw. And Gukesh ended up increasing 6 rating points, taking him to an impressive 27-32, on par with what Arjun Erigaisi will be having on October 1. Harikrishna is at 27-17 according to the live ratings. Nihal lost 4 rating points and moves from 26-77 to 26-73, and SL Narayanan gained 6 points playing for My Investor Capablanca in the first league and has a live rating of 26-63. And moving on to other exciting and explosive online event, the chess.com Global Chess Championship continues on, and in some of the thrilling encounters, Nihal Sarin came out on top against the former world champion Vladimir Kramnik with a convincing 1.5 win. It was a pretty exciting match all through, and Nihal took the lead in the 3rd game of the match in a thrilling time trouble battle. Raunak Sadhwani, meanwhile, didn't have the best of continuations after a superb 2.5 win over the former world champion Vasilin Topalov. He met his match in the form of Anish Giri and ended up losing in straight sets by 3-0. Anish played some of his best chess and advanced to the round of 16, and it is notable that all the 8 top seeds of their mini groups have ended up advancing to the round of 16. So not a lot of surprises there, which by itself is a surprise. Now there's one match which is pending in the round of 32, which is between Arjun Agassi against Teimur Rajabo. This will take place on the 28th, 9:30 p.m. and I'll be commentating on chess.com India, so do catch me there. And the next round, the round of 16, will also take place during the ECC, which will feature several promising Indian players and Vishy Anand himself. So that will be on October 2 to 10. And in the Fisher Random qualifiers, Hikaru Nakamura won the Charlotte Chess Club qualifiers, and he will join Magnus Carlsen, Wesley So, and all the other invited and qualified players. Hikaru was quite happy with his win and showed his happiness in this tweet, and he will join the other players in Iceland from October 25 to October 28. So the Fisher Random World Championship will also be an event to look forward to, and it will feature both Magnus Carlsen as well as Hikaru Nakamura. And in tournaments in India, the Chhattisgarh CM Trophy is underway right now, and at the end of 7 rounds, Georgian Grandmaster Levan Pansolea is in the lead with 6.5. A group of Indians are pursuing him at 5.5 points, 1 point behind, including Nubir Shah. So those are all the events that have happened. And in the upcoming events to look forward to, there is the ECC coming up in Austria, October 3 to 9. Again, this will feature some of India's best rising stars and Vishy Anand himself playing. That's one tournament to look forward to. I'll also be going there live along with Arjun. Before we end the video, the world champion Magnus Carlsen has finally come out with a statement. Let's bring it on. And as they say, the statement just speaks for itself. What do you think? Do leave it in the comments. What do you think of the world champion statement? Now, as for me, I think this is a pretty strong statement. Not something I would take lightly. And I have a lot of respect for Magnus's integrity. So this is something really, really serious now. And once again, if you like this episode, do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and see you all next week.